All right, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Boy, be nice or else. And we have the homie Ceexdawg. We have the homie Outlawed. And we are Three Little Blerds. And welcome to the Three Little Blerds Talk Show, episode 14, titled name Scat Brothers. Our special guest today hails to you from FTO Nerd Talks. He is a very, I would say, pivotal person in our community, someone that a lot of people look to his, comments and reviews of different things. We have Mr. Demetrius today. And if you would introduce to the crowd yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go ahead and get rolling with some spiciness today. Ain't that right, Kenny?
You feel me? My bad.
Like Kenny just said, I'm D, after Nerd Talk. I've been doing this since like 2013, a little bit longer, give or take. Musician before I started putting out content for Nerdom, for Blerdom. And FTO is a place that, for a lot of people who don't know, FTO stands for Flipping Tables Over. And Flipping Tables Over is that point that you get where you get so angry, you just want to flip over a table. And I think a lot of us get there. And I think like in Nerdom, we really get there. And I think like being in that spot, being in that nerdy realm, having our emotions on our sleeves, on our face, always be telling. I think it's I think it's cool. I like to blend it up with politics, with all different types of nerddom. I think it's nice to have like those tough conversations, but respect each other as people, and that's what I try to bring to FTO Nerd Talk. I'm not sure if I always pull it off. My emotions may get in the way too. I have blocked a lot of people, but at the end of the day, I try to have fun. Try to make sure people have fun. I try to put like awesomeness on the forefront as best as I can.
Man, but you've been in for a while, man. Like, before we jump into what your definition of a blerd is, what would you say has kept you kind of going, in blerdom and staying at it, even though you obviously have dealt with some difficulties and trying to go about how you express yourself and other people not necessarily receive.
Honestly, I wish I had like a straightforward answer for you, because I have come and gone from this for a very long time. Insecurities run deep inside of me. I think it does in a lot of people who consider themselves nerds or blerds, and like it's tough, man. It's tough like to keep going forward when all you want to do is like have fun in a safe environment. And I feel like maybe 2 years ago I told myself like FTO is going to be a safe space, period. Like safe space, like no derogatory comments towards anybody. Everyone's going to be like cool with each other. If that doesn't work out, then like maybe like then they don't really want to be here. So it took me a while to get to that point. And like 2 years ago, out of 13 so years of doing this, like I guess I was a slow start, or I just kept trying to go with the program, like just do what other people were doing and following that suit. Because if you watch my older videos on YouTube, like my first cut, it was always news. It's always news, always like reviewing, talking about stuff in a way that most people weren't doing. I tried like to put stuff on his head, but I stopped. And I kept coming back because I knew there was something there for me. But I kept stopping, kept coming back because I love it. I love comics. I love TV shows. I love movies. I love art. It's like I love it. It's hard like to get it out of there completely. It's just hard.
But I mean, I guess that just also speaks to the person that you are as a fighter. I think you're a fighter in true nature. Like, fighters get knocked down, but they always find a way and get back up. I think I see that in your spirit, in your podcast and the way you talk about things. Like, you just see your emotion and your raw feelings. So we know here at Three Little Blerds, we look at ourselves as an umbrella, for all nerddom. And this is a safe space, and you should know that. So, if ever you feel like, things you FTO, if ever you feel like, people aren't receiving, that you have a home here, and that this is always a safe space. So we appreciate you being here with us today. And let's go ahead and jump into what is your definition of a blerd. I'm excited to hear this because you've been open publicly more about being blerd longer say at least me, and maybe seeing Kenny. But like, what's your definition of a blerd, and how do you feel like a blerd has kind of evolved over your course and period of time in our community?
When it comes to like what that word means, I wish I can give you some big philosophical answer like most people probably expect from me, but it's mostly just a black nerd, man. Black nerd is more than just like being black and being a nerd. It's like putting that diaspora of like American black culture, of like European black culture, of African black culture into nerddom. And unlike what you see like with board gamers and video game like Call of Duty fans or Marvel and DC fans, unlike what you see like with the white nerd or the Asian nerd, you get something a little bit different with the black nerds. And the black nerds has that culture, have that upbringing. And I'm pushing 40, man. Like I'll just say, I'm pushing 40 years old, and I was raised by a single mom in Atlanta, and I follow that culture of blackness in Atlanta. Like if some of you guys out there are from Atlanta, you know what I'm talking about. Like what that's
rich,
like.
Man,
it is.
It has engulfed me this past week. I will tell you that, and we'll talk about that a little bit later too, man. It has been so therapeutic for me to walk outside of my brother's house, right, and look at every house on this block and understand that there are $250,000 or more, and that every person that's in them is black. Where I'm going back to, if I walk in a neighborhood like this, I know for a fact that 98% of them are white. And like for me, just knowing that our have this after not seeing it like pretty much my whole life, man. Whew. So I feel you on that. I feel you on that one.
It feels good to see that, because like I don't care for gentrification. I feel like you can improve neighborhoods without throwing stores and raising prices on rent and just doing like condominiums in low income or small and underprivileged areas. But I feel like like it's good to see that. It's good to see like that uprising that you're talking about. Maybe uprising is not the best word, but like that tectonic shift of black people getting what they deserve and like putting themselves in a position that they need to be in to make themselves and their families strive. Like that's kind of what I like seeing also.
Yep. Almost to the point where it almost might make me move.
For sure.
I mean, yeah, like, and I get it completely, because Atlanta, it's blue now, and like we're unabashedly black here. Like there may be some people who get weird, but that happens anywhere. So like we are our best selves, and we don't really give a damn about like how people see us, and like that can be a plus and a minus to some people, especially when you're driving into traffic. So
yep, I've also well, all right, cool. What type of blerdy events, blerdy content, or anything that you have coming up that you want to let our followers know about?
You cut up there a little bit. What was that?
Sorry. What type of blerdy events or blerdy collabs that you have coming up with maybe before the end of 2020 that you want to let our followers know about?
When it comes to like events and collabs, pandemic really put a kibosh on a lot of that stuff. So like the events are kind of a no-go. Collabs, when we say collabs, it's mostly going to be interviews that I have with people, because my collab thing has been like put down to like a halt. I've been doing Comic and Nonsense with David Rucker, the creator of Decimation Nerve, who has a Kickstarter. You guys should probably check that out. Been doing that with Tim on Saturdays. Didn't do it this week. It was just like a rough week this week. But I got an interview that I'm pretty proud of. It's going to be posted probably tomorrow with QC Pie Sensei, Jasmine James.
Hey, let's go.
And that's
dope. That's fine.
That's the reaction right there. The reaction that all three of you gave. That is the reaction that I love right there, because I said to her, like, hey, you are an icon, and she doesn't see herself as one, but I'm telling you right now,
hey man,
you are a household name in every nerd and blerd's home. Like every nerd and blerd know exactly who you are. You may not have like the followers of like say Jessica Negri, and like that's whatever, but I'm telling you right now, every nerd or blerd know who Cutie Pie Sensei is, and I was nervous. The whole time.
That's kind of fire for real. Like,
that is fire.
That's monumental, right? Like they have an interview with her. Like,
that's
geez.
a golf slow clap right there.
Oh yeah, golf claps.
Yeah,
I
I also saw that you did an interview with the Ozzy
Osbourne.
Yeah, and like,
Yeah.
so I went to the little ramen shop in Orlando. They got like a ramen shop, a Dragon Ball themed ramen shop.
The
Okay.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah, Super Saiyan, ton of his art.
Super
all
Saiyan
throughout
is
the
lit, bro. That place so good.
His art was all throughout the place. I had already seen it on Instagram, and like I DM'd him and everything. I sent him.
Cool guy.
"Oh, this is
Super
dope."
cool guy.
He
Yeah.
hit me back and everything. He was like, I appreciate it. Like he had the Broly, he had the Dragon Ball Super Broly. It had just came out. Like he had
Yeah.
the poster restaurant already. Dope.
I just went to Batteries Plus because my wife's phone wasn't working, and I saw one of the workers there wearing a hoodie, and he had like the Black Panther Boondocks hoodie on.
Oh
Crazy,
yeah,
right?
that one. That work was fire. That was probably one of my favorite ones.
It was insane. It was insane. Small world. I sent him a text message like after I saw it, like, hey man, like people wearing your work out here in Atlanta. He was just stunned. They're like, it made his day. So it's cool like to see that. Cool like to put that vibe out there for our folk. It's nice. I love it.
Yeah, you know what I really love to see that I feel like makes it more impactful is like when you talk to these people or like certain people and they don't know the impact that they had in the community, and then they just have that sense of shock, like really, like snap, like so that's like one of the greatest things, like with everything, just seeing that like that sense of shock and like not believing it, like believe it or not, you really are like.
It gives me chills, man. Like every time like that happens, I hear you.
So yeah, that's dope.
Super dope. All right, so really quickly before we topics today with our special guest, we got some 3LittleBlerd announcements. As you guys know, we've been a lot about our community month this month. November, we took the month to try to say thank you to all of our supporters. We appreciate you guys for coming to the talk show, coming to Friday Night Fights, and participating with us in all of our events and supporting our content. So this month we are giving away a free copy of Spider-Man Miles Morales. We will be drawing a winner on September. I'm sorry, not September. Ooh, a whole couple months behind. November.
I was about to say,
20th.
sheesh, bro, that's 2 months ago.
And I'm
don't take me back to those days.
I'm going to throw it over to C, so he can talk to you guys about how to get in and into that Miles Morales giveaway, and what you need to do to make sure that you get your free copy.
Yep. Yeah. If y'all check this out on the Instagram, y'all already know. Yeah, definitely. Trying to give away a copy of that Miles Morales Spider-Man. And so it just dropped on Thursday, and we got the reserve copy on deck, and just hit us on the Instagram and go ahead and throw your name in the pot for that. I don't think it's a ton of people in there. They definitely got a good chance to get it, and the game is dope. I've been playing the game.
Yeah,
weekend.
I was about to say, see how you like it. I see you. You've been messing with that. You've been messing with that photo mode.
Yeah, that was the next thing we were actually going to jump into is we're going to talk about gameplay with Ceexdawg. And Demetrius, I didn't know if you said you weren't currently doing a whole lot of games.
Not so much, no.
Yeah, tell us about how it's been for you, kind of what you've enjoyed so far. Also, Kohlberg, I see you laughing at me down in the stream. with the Jordan emote. Hey, yo, Jordan. Top 5 emote on Twitch. I don't care what nobody say. Anyway,
top five.
That's cool. You guys have a giveaway, like a giveaway for this game. Is it, before I answer the question, like, is it better than the first Amazing Spider-Man game?
Absolutely.
Okay, that was fast. Like, all right.
I really hate to be biased about it, but the way that Miles Morales' abilities and powers are set up, it makes it too easy. Like he has the invisibility, the bioelectricity. It's already like more impactful like gameplay with just. So it's tough, man. Like they did a good job with the art style, the voice acting. The Tims, the Jordans. I'm sorry, the Tim, they do a real good job with like connecting you more with like the community of like when you play as Spider-Man, it's a couple of people that make a return from the last game, but yeah, on this one, like they like really connect you with of like New York City. Like it's dope. Like it's all around dope. And they're gonna make another Spider-Man. Have to make a new one because they changed the voice, like the face, the motion capture for Peter Parker. Like it's a completely new like face on him and everything. So they're trying to make this no spoilers, no spoilers.
I saw the tweets out about that. Like a lot of people were going a little insane about like the motion cap and how Pete looks different. Yeah.
They changed his whole face and everything. They said it was because of the voice actor. It was able to get him better like facial recognition with what he was actually saying. But it's cool. I mean, he doesn't look bad. I mean, it's kind of weird to get used to. It's a good game overall. So yeah, definitely try to. You can't get. I know people have been playing it on PS5, and I know it's running like a beat. It runs good on PS4. I've been playing on PS. Good game, straight up. Good game of 2020.
Yeah, I haven't had the opportunity to play it, but I've been on Assassin's Creed personally. So
that's Valhalla, right?
Yeah.
Kenny, real quick, can you?
I don't hear none of you said.
Yeah, you're coming and going.
But yeah, like Assassin's Creed, it's honestly is top 5, maybe top 3.
Is it better or worse than Ghost of Tsushima?
I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, so I can't honestly say. But I think Ghost of Tsushima has a better story, and from the fighting that I've seen, it's just like the fighting is like the mechanics for the fighting is better. Because I mean, it's Assassin's Creed; it's not really too much different outside of they did switch a lot with this trilogy, like from the rest of the games in this trilogy. They added like a stamina bar, and you don't level up no more. You have a power score, and your power score is based on what regions you can actually attack in. So like I did a raid. It was like my first raid, and my power score, I think when I got to like the actual area, it was only like 12 or 11, but I made a mistake and rated a 120 power score. And it took me like 30 times to try to finish, and it was
sounds challenging at times. Yeah,
it was crazy. And then it was so bad because you have to level up, like you have to get stronger Vikings so that you could take over these territories. And I had beginner Vikings, so I couldn't just straight up raid because whenever they ran in, they died. So I was running around trying to revive 5 Vikings while a giant knight dude is chasing me with a malice. But gameplay wise, this is probably one of the better gameplay Assassin's Creed that I played. Story wise, I haven't really got too deep into it, but I love how they're incorporating building the Assassin's Guild, kind of like how you had to in Brotherhood. I don't know if any of y'all played Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, but you have to build an Assassin's Guild and basically use the assassins to take out the Templars, which they're the hidden ones and the ancient ones in this time period, because they didn't officially have the assassin name until later in assassin history. But yeah, but the game itself is just, the skill tree is amazing. It reminds me of Skyrim a bit.
It's like World of Warcraft too, from how you're talking.
Yeah, like it's they really went into more of the RPG feeling, and then with the fighting, they added a stamina bar, so you can't really just hack and just hack away and parry when you want to or die.
Limiting? Is that limiting, or like is that more challenging for
you? It's not limiting, but it makes it more challenging. But it has you approach situations differently, I'll say, because it could be a point where you think you have a certain amount of enemies, but they can send an alert that'll bring more enemies. So at this point, like, you surrounded, so you can run out of stamina in the middle of the fight. So you really have to strategize how you want to attack.
It's like the game is really trying to take you down. That's cool. I dig that. Sorry, I'm going into viewer. Sorry, guys.
You fired, man.
That's a dope mechanic. The stamina in itself.
The stamina, I think personally, it really helps Assassin's Creed because it takes away that just straight hacking and dodging. Because when you dodge, you use the stamina. When you attack and use heavy attacks, they use certain different amounts of stamina. Your abilities use stamina, like stuff like your stamina is important. Like it goes away like quick, like you wouldn't even notice it, and then you just doing like single strikes, thinking you're doing the combo, and it's not doing your combo. So.
Kenny's over here gushing. You're gushing, Kenny.
That game fun.
So much. It's so much fun. You can do all.
It is. they really got me when I could put my hood on. Any game you can put your hood on. Like I can't even remember the last Assassin's Creed you were able to like put it on and off. But actually, I don't even think you could. Like it did it automatically in certain areas.
Kenny got his own soundtrack to this game, I'm sure.
Facts.
Definitely be on Assassin's Creed.
Sorry to get off topic there. Be nice. What was that question again?
You good?
No, man. I'm sorry. I love Assassin's Creed, and just seeing this one, like it kind of like I feel like it's revitalizing the series personally. Like if they keep this route, it's great. It's just
you make me want to buy a console to play the game on that excitement you got going on right now. That's
you
cool.
Should. And you know what? If you sit in a party with us. But I guess since everybody's talking about a game, me too. So
you cut off again.
I guess like.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
It could be the octave, like usually when a person's voice goes too high on those type of microphones, like it cuts themselves out. Just from what I've seen.
Oh, and guess what? You would have more experience.
It's funny. That's how I started out. Like when I did Anchor podcast, I had nothing but earbuds inside my ear. So every time I got too loud, it got distorted and you couldn't hear anything.
That's right. All right. So I got to talk with no excitement. So since everybody's talking about a new game they're playing, he's playing Spider-Man. Kenny is playing Assassin's Creed. I am playing Destinies 2. So I missed that wave the first time, and man, I got about 10 friends who are playing the game right now, and I can't tell you the last time I spent just a whole day playing a video game fucking off, but guess what I did yesterday? I fucked off and I played Destiny all day, and it was great.
It's your first playthrough? That's your first playthrough on Destiny 2?
Yeah, that's my first. Yeah, that's my first play.
Okay. Yeah, Destiny 2 is a good story on the first playthrough.
You loot, destroying, rolling with teammates, cussing and fussing, failing missions, doing them over. So fun, man, because like I'm a warlock. Like, where can you be a warlock at? Like, I got grenades I can throw. I can snatch powers from people and hype up my grenades. I throw a Nova Blast. Like, what?
I think I only did the intro missions for Destiny 2, and that was when they made it free to play. So
it's good. It's good. I like it. I just can't grind like those games. It's one of those games where you got to do like the raids, got to grind the quest over, try to get the gear, and that's the part of it where I just get out. It's fun though. Like
it's kind of like I haven't played it, but from what I've heard and from what I've seen, it's like it kind of plays like a mobile game sometimes. Like you have to do all these different hurdles to get to a certain point where you need to get. And like if that doesn't work, you got to pay some microtransactions to really get to where you want to go. So it's like it's always you fighting the game to get to where you want to go. From what I understand about Destiny, that's why I never really got too invested inside of it.
That was something I had to. I had.
Yeah, I just haven't really been grinding in the game in a long time. So
I didn't even know the microtransactions were there.
Pretty big in that game.
Yeah, it was like, you won't see me spend a single penny in that game. That game is too much fun for me to be spending any money. Not spending any money. We'll play and get other things, but not spending any. Nope.
When Destiny 2 first came out, I loved it. Yeah, like the Crucible is that's my jam. Yeah, Warlock is my favorite class, but I just got burnt out. I really got burnt out on it.
I never used the warlock class. I always pick what is it, hunter?
Hunter.
Yeah.
Hunter is who I naturally would have went with.
Yeah, I might
Be cool to blow
download
stuff up.
Warlock this time. I might download some Destiny. Got
Well,
people
I'm
to
telling
play
you right
with, so
now, as soon as we're done here, I am going to swivel from this laptop to this screen right here and turn my Xbox on and go right back to playing.
I would probably play Destiny with you because I still got it, so I don't trade my
Run
games
it.
in.
I feel like that would be a better option too, right? To play with someone else.
I gotta download Destiny.
Shout out to homie Marquis.
Oh no, time out.
Oh, Colbert, what a run! Hey,
Yeah,
let's
Colbert.
go.
Yeah, me and Colbert, and I think Blue was playing Destiny around the time in the first drop.
Let's
think
go,
Blue was playing
man.
on PS4, but yeah,
Colbert, man, I've been looking since the game Destiny 2, bro. Any like period of time where career, bro, you can sign me up every week. Every week, I am with that.
It's on Steam. I feel like I have a computer. I got a pretty decent one. I feel like I should start playing like some games on Steam.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely check it out.
What Steam games are you in?
None.
All right. Now I do have a quick question for Destiny. It has all this. It has Beyond Light, Forsaken, and Shadowkeep.
It's free.
I need all those.
All of that's free. That's all
like
free.
Extra quick. I don't think you have to install that. I don't think you do.
No,
I'm
you
not
don't.
sure.
You don't have to,
like the expansion.
All right, Destiny 2 downloading. So.
Oh wow, that was just that. There you go. Congratulations, Microsoft. You just got another transaction.
But Blue Okami, to answer your question, Destiny has cross progressions, but not true crossplay. Bungie calls this feature cross save, letting you play the same 3 Guardians regardless of which platform you're on. If you haven't done so, you can set up cross save. So they do not have crossplay. Sorry, my friend.
Man.
One day,
but if you want to play Apex, I got you.
One day I will have the privilege and the unique honor of playing with the great Blue Okami in any video game of choice when I get my PlayStation 5. So yes, there's that.
Blue Okami got to get used to put a PS5 now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He put a smooth. It's okay, man. To the end of 2020 to get it right. It's okay.
Console generation right now is crazy.
Crazy.
Speaking of that, really quickly, let's talk about it. So both Xbox and PlayStation have released. We've had a little news out on both of them. How do you guys feeling about the consoles so far? Demetrius, feel free to weigh in. I know you're not gaming, but you obviously see news.
I still like people talk about it, like all the stuff going on right now when it comes to PlayStation. It's cool that like gamers are coming together and playing this game, and a lot of them who are dealing with their social anxieties during the pandemic and the election and all that. That's cool. That's super awesome. I'm loving the joy that people are getting from this, but that toxicity is still itching its way in there like it was before the PS4, 3, and 2, and 1. But hopefully people are calling it out like we were talking about before, and hopefully it's not as bad or gets as bad as it was before. But people are having fun. Okay, that's all that matters to me right now. They're having fun. They're playing their games. Everybody's talking about a lead black character inside of a video game. It's a good time for me right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Black
a lead black character on the launch title.
Yes, on a launch title, dude. On the most popular game console out right now, because everyone wants this more than one Xbox. So yes, exactly what you just said on a launch title.
Yeah, and I'm a Xbox enthusiast.
I don't know what you said, but yeah.
Yeah. I am an Xbox enthusiast, and I'm getting a PlayStation 5 and Spider-Man because it's for the culture. And more importantly,
okay, that's what you said.
I feel like PlayStation is just going to be offering more to me as far as individual play. I've been a pretty big social player, video game player, but now I'm starting to find things that I like. And I feel like PlayStation is going to offer me that variety. Starting with Spider-Man.
How far do you take that though? How far do you take for the culture? when they contemplate
getting
to
a
put your
PC.
mind into something?
So for me, so I'm ultra pro black. Like I'm blackity black. So as far as for the culture, what it means to me, doing things that protect us, that uplift us, that enrich us, that teach us financial literacy, that gets towards financial freedom, that gets us away from the oppressor, that gets us working together. That for me is for the culture, right? Miles Morales gives representation in video games where we have not had lead representation in video games. So, in purchasing a PlayStation, I understand that's supporting a Japanese company and those developers, that money is going back to Marvel. But, for me, being able to see that representation in an area that I've operated in my whole life and have limited access to, yes, I don't mind putting my dollars towards that and supporting that.
You muted yourself, FTF.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Like,
were you cussing me out while I was talking?
No, like I'll talk about how appreciative I am, like of what you just said. Some people can take that like a different route and say like they're pandering and like they're just trying to take my money from us. But like if it helps, it helps, and that's how you're looking at it, at the pro way.
Yeah. Then obviously question and just see where my allegiance lie, and it's important to understand, to make sure, like, if you're doing something quote unquote for the culture, right, is it hurting the culture? Are you progressing the culture and it should be going in? Like, those are questions that you need to ask before you put that kind of title before anything. And like, if you don't understand that, then refrain from using that. So, I've spent an exclusive amount of time like learning about our history, learning about cultural appropriation, and learning about how people use our culture against us to force our dollar and force our usage. So I'm fully aware of what the wrong black trend can do, freaking Popeye chicken sandwiches. Like, why do we give Popeyes all that money? I just had that sandwich for the first time a week ago. It was regular as hell. But as long as
I wouldn't go that. I wouldn't go that far. But all right.
That was a sad time to see Popeye's chicken line that long just for when they finally released it. When it went to the menu regularly, and then Popeyes just went back to normal, just like everything just.
You can't even get them to go to a black.
I don't know what he's saying, but I know what he's getting at.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
he sounded like a clean version of a CD when they have like a whole when they cuss it.
The Walmart edition. Gotcha.
It just goes blank for like 3 seconds to come back.
It's so random. But yeah, like
you might can't hear me, but you can see.
Like you said,
your camera went out.
Supporting the Miles Morales, like Blue Okami was saying, like that the fact that we haven't really seen that, and Miles Morales is a fairly new hero, and the fact that he is like being brought out in a game on this scale, like it's like I was saying earlier today, it's so refreshing. Get to see like the new Spider-Man on the new PlayStation, and it's all good. Like everybody want to say is it, like you said, it's pandering, social justice warriors, whatever. But why can't it just be what it is? Like if somebody wanted
a dope character with a dope game,
like Horizon Zero Dawn, you know what I'm saying? They could have launched with that. Like that would have been just as dope, But we got Miles.
You're right though. Miles Morales is a new character. He hasn't been out for more than 10 years. He came out in 2011.
Yeah. So.
And like he's already had his own feature game. That's like in the accordance of like comics to game, like that's more impressive than Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn has a Suicide Squad game coming out a year or so with Warner Brothers, and that's before like Miles Morales has his game. Like that's and like in gamedom and comics to game, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's just good to see how just from like how he started, just the acceptance that he has gotten, like just with the game itself, and just how much more popular that he has gotten with like the last Spider-Man game when they actually introduced him and stuff. So it's just seeing that and how everybody accepted the game and how it's being accepted now, and everybody pretty much loves the game. So it's just dope to see. Like,
you talk about like his accolades so far. He's beaten Captain America, like evil Captain America. He's he's jumped from 2 different universes, from like his original Ultimate Universe to 616, and he has an Oscar now too. So, and now he has a video game on top of it. So, like, you know, like in the comics and video game world, he got a couple of feats right now, and like in our world with the Oscar.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too.
Yeah.
That animated movie, like, was amazing.
It was good.
That movie was fire.
I cried. Yeah, it was good.
I can't wait for the second one.
Can't wait.
Okay. Can y'all hear me? Am I coming through now?
Oh yeah.
No,
All
I can't hear you.
All right. So sucker free conversation. So over there.
You need to stop talking then.
You the one talking. So we're gonna jump into some topics with Mr. Demetrius here. Give him an opportunity to share to our world how he feels on certain things, and we're gonna keep it spicy. And we're gonna go ahead and jump into the first topic, and it's gonna be our current president election, or the finishing toppings to the president election. Demetrius, how do you feel about our current president and our president-elect, and kind of the way that we are going?
Donald Trump can kiss my ass. Like, I call him fuckface. So that should tell you what you need to know about that. That's literally my name. My name for him is fuckface. That's his name to me.
You gave him a name.
it was 45 for a very long time. They're like, you know, it's like, no, that's still too much. I give him honor because he's like the 45th president. No, he is fuckface. That's his name. Like, if the sky is blue,
call him
it's 606 and he's fuckface.
It's the sky's blue, it's 606 and he's fuckface. Yeah.
There you go.
Straight like that.
President-elect, I hope he has a good cabinet. You know, like, I don't really care for Biden either. Like, he's kind of problematic at times, and he's like riding the coattails of Obama, thinking he's like Mr. White Black Man. But, you know, if he does something better than Trump, and he won't be tweeting all the time, he won't be telling me like that I'm bad just because my ancestors come from shithole countries. He won't be throwing people who are DACA recipients out the way. He won't be putting kids in cages. He won't be talking about how he's grabbing women by the crotch, you know, like none of that stuff. So I guess, like, you know, in hindsight, it's a good. Hey, hate like to be a dour side of your show, guys, but like, yeah, like at least there's that. So
being real.
Hey, can't ask for nothing but realness.
Like,
you can come out here and be fake. So
yeah. I honestly don't know how to do that. Like, I don't. Like, you guys say I'm a fighter. I appreciate those kind of words. I stopped going to school when I was in 9th grade because someone threatened to kill me. I didn't go back until the next year, and like that kind of, like, you know, changed the way I saw everything. Like, I missed a whole year of school because someone threatened to take my life, and I made a couple of promises to myself that, like, I wouldn't put myself into situations where someone make me feel that way, and I haven't. During this last administration, I've been apprehensive to go outside because I have kids and my life is not just mine anymore. I traveled the U.S. and as a musician. But this last administration, seeing like my people being killed for just being themselves, has really triggered something in me. And it started with Trayvon Martin and Eric Garner. And then I saw Sandra Bland like just mysteriously die in the police station for no reason. And like all that. Tamir Rice being shot because he's playing with a toy gun. Like, we've all done that. All 4 of us have done that.
Yep.
Like, and he was shot because he was black with a toy gun. Like, like all
no,
this.
I haven't. My mom will let me get toy
You
guns.
haven't done finger guns also, man?
Air guns.
I couldn't have anything related to guns.
Yeah, that's usually how it is. Your parents don't let you play with that for that very reason.
And if I ever like did this, she'll be like, "What are you doing? No, stop that shit, dude. You know the mama thing."
That's the reality.
So like,
that's the
I
reality.
never.
You're
was
absolutely
never one of
correct.
the-
That is the reality. See, like that's how it is. Like in like having the conversation. That's the most asinine fucking thing I've ever heard of in my life. We gotta have a talk with our kids about how not to get shot by the cops. Are you kidding me right now? That sounds
Exactly.
arbitrary.
Just for playing in the park, like.
Just for driving a car.
Or going outside in your yard.
Just for putting a hoodie on my fucking head. You talking about like in the game, I get to wear a hoodie. Like in real life, it's hard for us to do that.
Yeah.
I love my hoodie. Crazy.
So again, sorry to break it down, but like that's how it is, man. Like it's like
it is. Like I gotta be wary of how I wear my hoodies now. Like
Yeah,
that's
I knew it was serious.
reality.
Like police relations, I always knew it was like something that you need to be mindful of. But like you said, during these last couple years, it's like you can't slip up. Like you have to be on your P's and Q's every time you leave your house.
But why do I have to do that? Like I'm an American. I'm a free citizen. I don't have to do stuff like that. I can be my unabashful jackass self if I want to be.
Right. Extra pressure that really shouldn't be there, but the fact that it is, it's like some people are just like, "Oh, that's just got to deal with it the way it is."
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that way.
No.
Yeah.
That's why you got people cheering in the streets. When get results, and you got people who actually are happy that they might get somebody in there who will say something. Like somebody gets killed by the police mysteriously. Like somebody who would just say something like, "Hey, what happened?" Not just, "Oh, well."
I guess that's it. That's that on that. Excuse me. Like
that's not on that.
That's that on that. And like
regard.
I'm not sure if you guys heard about what happened in Texas. Like there was a guy who's a Stars Trump supporter, hardcore Blue Lives Matter guy. He says he's addicted to white women, also black, and he was shot by a cop in Texas. And the guy said, trying to stop a fight, shot by a cop. Like you probably didn't hear about it because of all those reasons of what he stands for. But like even if like you follow their rules, man, like they don't give a damn about you. The same for like the Latinos who vote for Trump. I can't say too much on that because I'm not Latino or Latinx. But it's the same thing. Like, dude wants to deport people who are not from this country or who came from a different country and have like grandparents or parents who came from a different country and send them back. Like that's what he and his supporters want, and like to support that is ridiculous to me. But again, I can't say much because I'm not that.
And they did it.
Yeah. And the same for women and their reproductive rights. Like, dude, like it's not your body. Like you tell a woman if she can or can't have an abortion. Like that's not for you to say. You may not like it, but it's not your body, man. You can't go out putting your opinions on people's bodies like that. That's bogus, religious or not.
Yeah.
I'm getting on the soapbox. I'm sorry. This is supposed to be like talking about nerdy games. But like this is the stuff we play in games too, man. Like those dystopian societies we see, and like in the video games that we play the protagonist trying to stop it. It's the same thing.
Star Wars, Hunger
Games,
everything.
Yeah, all of it.
All of it.
Mandalorian.
Literally, man. Literally. I just watched the new episode of Mandalorian.
Me too.
I still gotta watch it.
Yeah.
On it.
And it's kind of like a dystopian society right now. Like it's like an Iron Fist. Like the Mandalorian, he's running bounties, but he's still getting shit from people like who's trying to oppress him at the same time. So I get it, man. That's why we relate to it so much because we understand it.
And then before we slide off of this topic, I do want to mention clearly, and it should be said, although I know it's very apparent that. We are not our parents. We are not our grandparents. We are not our great-grandparents. We will not ask. So, Proud Boys, I want to remind you.
Yeah, if you're watching.
This generation is the generation you do not want. So, I know y'all on standby, quote unquote. Y'all better stand by and stay away. And moving on.
Yeah.
Because I feel like our generation got in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, bro. Listen,
the rage, man.
The toxic video game play, the fighting we did as kids, the gang stuff you had to avoid, all the police.
I think it's just it was unmatched.
And listen, like we yeah, our past generations went through some stuff, man. But to grow up black from like the late '80s to the 2000s now, you done seen a lot of stuff yourself
Yes,
too.
Yeah,
that's what I was
You
about
done
to
yeah.
seen
say.
You seen
You
more.
seen a
you
lot
done
of
seen a lot.
conspiracies, like, you seen a
Yeah,
lot
We
of
boy, you
see
stuff.
done seen a
we
lot
see
of
we
things.
see stuff that they couldn't have even have fathomed at the age that we were. Like, so it's,
Y'all
yeah.
whole killing black people, whole killing, recorded, visual, physical evidence. Still officers getting off, bro. Who?
Yeah, you remember one they got at the grocery store like a week or two after he
Man.
was released. Like he just walking around with like same food, like it was nothing. Oh hey, yeah, I'm the guy. I'm that guy from that video. Like it was nothing. Like what the hell? Yeah.
Just a gentle reminder that this ain't the generation you want it with. All right. So
I guess you guys ask you guys a question.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
Like you guys just posted like about the blog here about the like this search we're doing, and I see one of the people that replied to you is the Queen G Deuce Deuce. Like what is she like to play with?
So are you talking about the Queen Deuce Deuce? Oh, she plays Mortal Kombat with her.
Yeah, and she played
Yeah. So
horror
she plays.
games and stuff like that.
Yeah, in horror games and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say
So
I haven't played the game with her personally yet, so I
yeah,
couldn't tell you.
she's dope gamer. She's a supporter of the culture. You know, one of the things I like about her, you know, a lot of the female gamers, they have their niche and like they stay in it. Like that's what they like. Like she likes Teenage Mutant Turtles, she likes fighting games, and she likes horror stuff. If you see her, like one of those three things are going to be what she's talking about or what she's doing. And like, I love that she's original and unique to herself. Like she did her own gaming room, like not a boyfriend or a husband game, her game room.
That's cool.
I just love, I love that females are coming into gaming so strong now, and they are getting. Because I mean, I've known female gamers my whole life, but I feel like they've low key been oppressed and haven't felt comfortable enough to kind of step out into this like a limelight because it wasn't socially acceptable, I guess, at some periods of time. But now I'm like, bro, we got females in our crew that roll with us all the time, and I never even second guess like conversing and talking to things about them when they're with us because they're family. So I love Game Warrior.
That's how I feel about Gigi Sapphire. Not sure if you guys heard of her, but like she has like kind of the same kind of mindset. She's always things and stuff out there. Like shameless plug for her, I guess. But yeah, like she's cool.
Hey man, listen, the talk show is for shameless plugs. So if you have any
it don't even have to be shameless, just a bold faced plug.
Right on. I appreciate that.
If I had out there for those people you need them to. So yeah, by all means, take as many plugs as you need to.
I think that's one thing. Like with us, we pride ourselves on like supporting other people. So anytime you have any positivity or anything for any other creator or like just content creator period or any other person, like it's always welcome.
Right on. I just feel like it was a good segue to get away from that conversation we were just on. Too. I don't know about you guys, but I was sweating a little bit during that conversation.
Hey, I mean,
but since you did slide over to a very player, let's talk about cosplay. You do review play and you interview a lot of cosplayers. What got you into enjoying cosplay and reviewing other people's cosplays?
It started out with being here in Georgia and Dragon Con being here. And I'm not sure if you guys heard of the cosplayer Yaya Han. She was like one of the first cosplayers like I ever saw was Yaya Han, and I didn't know what a cosplay was until I saw her doing it. Like she's like the character from Resident Evil. Like now she's doing like one of the characters from Zelda. Like what the hell is she like? She just put on these costumes as these characters. I don't know what this is. Then I found the word cosplay, and I just got into it, man. Like it's just cool stuff. I never done cosplay myself. I wouldn't mind doing cosplay someday. Just like I
think 2021 when everyone opens the world, debut your first.
Aren't you optimistic?
Hey, listen, I'm putting it out there. pressure on you. Hey, first come to open up on the East Coast, man. FTR Never Talk got to do his first cosplay, y'all.
If I do, I'm gonna have a nice big sword on my back. That's just how I roll, man.
Let's do it, man.
He's just gonna have to go as Cloud, just get a Buster sword.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Or I can do what Keith did and get a trunk stain going on. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Make it happen, yo. Don't. I actually for Halloween. So
who'd you go as?
Sagat.
Okay, that's cool. With the ball head, it kind of like went pretty well for you, right?
I had the scar and everything. Like it was pretty.
Yeah, it was dope.
Right on.
It was fire. You know, I don't give him credit all the time, but when I do,
hey, bro, I'm done. This talk show is over.
You did it this time,
Kenny with no side comment, with no backhand, just
wow.
gave me a straight up compliment. Oh yeah, I'm good for the rest of the talk show.
You should go play on lottery right now, man. My goodness.
I've been chilling all day. I haven't been on his case last 3 episodes. I promise. Like it's always them.
Yeah, but one of the things I would say, you know, because I didn't go in. I actually had a separate outfit for Halloween, for my sister's party. But like I said, hey, I want to do this cosplay. One of the things you learn about by talking to these cosplayers, and so we do spotlights for creators and cosplayers on our channel. Is that they really encompass these characters. They watch these animes and these mangas and these TV shows, and learn their quirks and their mannerisms, and find out writers' purposes for why they do certain things, and they really take this in when they they do these cosplays. So like I was up in Maryland, and I downloaded an emulator on my laptop, and I was playing Street Fighter 2. Like that was the first time I seen Sagat. I was going through watching like old YouTube play of people playing with them, and I even loaded up Street Fighter 4 on my Xbox and just played for like 30 minutes to really just kind of get into the character before I did the cosplay, man. So it's an experience. I think if you're in, everybody should try, because we all have characters we relate to as far as our lives are concerned. And so, I really related to Sagat. I am a fighter. I am that fighter, and I'm not that pretty fighter. I got scars. I lost some. I won some. But, more importantly, I always would come back stronger from every, defeat. And so, it was pretty dope.
I like how you take the positive.
So you were saying you just get Zenkai boots, huh?
Well, yeah. Y'all know. So the current saga of my life right now is the Vegeta saga. Talking about how there's always somebody out there who's a Goku, who's naturally just going to be better than you. But if you're a Vegeta, you're never going to get up. You're going to keep working and make people realize that you are going to get what's earned and what's owed to you. So I relate to anime characters, but saying cosplay is definitely coming.
Who you gonna be, Nappa? That's the only boss saying.
I mean, that's what I was thinking too. That was my first go-to was Nappa. Unless it does like a boo thing, like a long horn thing.
Why can't I be Cell? Why can't I be Boo? Why can't I be a black ball version of Goku?
You could be a black ball version of Krillin.
I mean, because you would think it was either Krillin.
You could be a black Tien
or Yamcha.
You can hit somebody with the tri-beam. Just hit them with the.
We gotta get you a wig, man.
Tien don't have hair. He good. All he need to do is draw an eyeball in the middle of his head.
I see why you were done when he said something nice to you. Now I get it.
There it is, right there. It's always short.
Yeah, that seems Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be Krillin, I could get a couple incense and do the burns for you.
Let me just give me players that you may be interviewed or follow or rock with on a consistent basis.
Say again.
Can you give me maybe
Why does he cut off every time he says movie?
It's almost to the punchline. Wherever he gets to the punchline, that's when it goes out. Yeah.
Can you give me 3 to 5 players that you support or like rock with? Did I cut off again?
That's
Yeah,
right.
3 characters like
cosplayers.
Crown Athena, she's really good. Like she's a really good cosplayer. She has like a certain tendency about her to put like a cutesy feel to it, but not go too overboard with her work. Like she keeps it kind of but fun at the same time. Like I really like her stuff. Coco Sherelle, I just had her on the show recently. Her stuff is really artistic. Not to say like none of the other games on this list aren't artistic, but she really puts like an artistic feel to what she does. She like tries to put a statement on who she is when she does a cosplay, and I really appreciate that. And so on the show, who's also a cosplayer, is Lady Zimmy. Again, more plugs out there, but like I had these people on the show because I really care for their work and I really like what they do, and I really like her work is because she has like an appeal to her where she's cute, but she's also very serious, but she's also very tough, and like she blends those things like into all her different characters, and it really gets pulled off very nicely. Like you don't feel a need to objectify her. It's like, oh my gosh, she's so hot, like stuff like that. You just like accept it for as is and just go with it. Like that's the appreciation I have like for her work. And like in all the other ones, like there's a lot of guys out there too. Like Todd Way. Todd Way stuff is like dude is really good. Like
shout out to the channel and has been played Spotlight. So
and Cosplay Savage also, like I had him on a show recently. Anthony Grant, like his stuff, he goes that artistic route also. He has like a lot of fun with his work. He makes like these characters up himself. He'll bring like some other characters and like put like a twist to it to make it his own. Like yeah, it's like there's a lot of cool cosplayers.
So Kenny C, do you have like one player you rock with?
Not really. I just look at pictures. I don't know. I don't know.
Throw it out that way too, man.
What about GC?
I forget the one girl name, but I mean, I guess do you want to tell us who you got coming up on the?
I like Tatted Poodle. That's the homie. She do cosplay.
So Tatted Poodle, shout out to her. You know, she's dope. A ton. Like before I even learned blerd, I learned about Tatted Poodle, and like she is dope because I saw her on Facebook.
She the homie. She actually in our One Piece group.
Yeah, she be all over the place. Like every blerd group or whatever Instagram page, I see her there. Like you know, she is all over. But yeah, I was gonna say FTR. I know you say you got somebody coming up on the show that you
I have Jasmine James, or you may know her as Cutie Pie Sensei. She's gonna be on the show Monday. She's already recorded. It's already been out there. I just gotta pop it on the podcast. I gotta do a preview so you guys can hear us talking about. Like it was fun. I should probably start doing more live streams like this so people can see these people talk about it. But I like to, when I do a podcast, and this is like a little trade secret of mine I'm telling everybody, I always have them turn off their camera and have it be straight just voice with the person I'm talking with. So like they don't have like the obligation to look at me like and be on while they're talking. They can talk and get their feelings out and get their thoughts out, because like I always say when it comes to this, when it comes to being on a podcast with me, it's not about me and getting likes and getting clicks. It's about like them talking about who they are and getting like their thoughts and opinions out. And like it's like say like you listen to a lot of the episodes, you know what I'm talking about when you hear people talk about their craft. And
the one episode that I liked is the making mistakes. I think that was you and your wife, right?
Right.
Yeah, and that was just like a super cool vibe. And if you know, I don't know if you know one of our peeps in the chat, Blue Okami, he does like kind of the same thing on the regular. Got his podcast that he put up with his wife, and they just vibe the whole time. You know, it's just a good conversation. You know, talking about a whole bunch of different things. You know, it's not just one specific topic. And I think on that one, y'all was talking about like making mistakes. Like I think it was kind of like along the lines of like allowing people to be able to mess up sometimes. You know, kind of like kind of like what we were getting at earlier, a little bit, you know, when we were talking about like the like this company's and I know you had another thing that you want to do. I don't know there on the other topic, and as far as like you said, calling people out on things.
Oh,
publicly.
Okay.
Calling people out and showing
like on the making this.
Hold on, before we jump into that, I did want to my player really quick. LaJoyce _MCK. She actually did her first like real big cosplay spotlight on 3LittleBlerds channel, and it's still to this day our highest liked post ever. So shout out to her. She's been doing great things with Crazy 8. Hypes of people.
Oh yeah, LaJoyce. She's been doing some crazy stuff, right? That Braveheart one was nuts.
Yes,
the
man,
she is so.
Oh yeah, that Braveheart was fire.
She's a phenomenal cosplayer. She's a dope woman. She's a dope wife, a mother. Like, she is such a good person, man. And like, I was so glad that we were able to spotlight her, because like, I go back and I read what she sent me for, like, you know, she just does cosplay for fun, and like it's never been something.
You can see it. You can see that she does it for fun, definitely.
And like, you know, to have her channel, man, and you just see her like full sprinting into like the person she is, like, it's so dope, man. And that's what three of us have for, you know, 3LittleBlerds, is to give our people a platform to express themselves. So very similar to your podcast, where you're giving people opportunity to express their love for their craft. You know, we want to do that here too. But yeah, let's jump into your topic for today.
Yeah, we'll do. And I also want to say that Midoriya's daughter, I'm not sure if you guys know who that is, but she has like a TikTok. Her stuff is crazy. Her TikToks, her cosplay is amazing, but her TikToks are hilarious. And if you watch TikTok, you know who I'm talking about. And Linking Lao is also good. Also, like her cosplay is awesome. Just so I don't forget some people out there. I'm pretty sure I forget a lot of other people, but I try to remember the names so I can do this kind of stuff on podcasts. But calling people out on the We Make Mistake episode that Steve was talking about, I actually talked about that towards the end of the podcast, where I had like some business partners that just did not go the way I wanted it to, and it happens. Like, you know, you go out there, you put yourself out there, you try to help people out, or, you know, you try to get help from somebody and they don't have the same intentions as you do. Like, it hurts. It really does. Like, you can like say, like, you know, it's whatever, like, they're jerks, like, you know, or like, you know, I made a mistake, or I can do better, whatever words you want to use, like, to justify or explain to yourself. It can be a pain, but like, you know, I'm not going to stop telling people like that, hey, I think that what you're saying is not the best way to go about this, and you know, just ignore the consequences. Like, I can't be that person. I can't give too many stories, situations. I definitely can't give any names, but I've had some run-ins with some folks who said things and done things that I did not appreciate, and I made it very clear and very known that I didn't appreciate it. And like, I lost friendships because, like, I as Kenny said, I kept it real. So, you know.
Hey, man.
Hey,
and honestly,
gotta be 100.
Yeah, that look, I mean, so you hear me and Kenny talk to each other, right?
Yeah.
Like, in love and in hate, like, we will always be able to express how we feel in that moment. Like, that's our relationship. It's completely different from me and C's relationship, completely different from Kenny and C's relationship. But like, that's free flowing. That's how we've always been. And, you know, because blerdom is big to us, we're small in actual size. And because of that, we have to find ways to compromise and work with each other. Because like I said before, if we are constantly cutting each other off, or the cancel culture that, you know, we use quite frequently now, then we're going to get to the point where we're just all canceling each other. You know, people need to learn how to have a conversation.
Cancel culture is a whole different conversation. I hate to cut you off, but cancel culture is a whole different conversation than, like, you know, calling people out. To me, cancel culture is holding people accountable for what they say. And like, I think that goes hand in hand with calling people out when it comes to cancel culture.
that's definitely twofold. Because one, you can keep people accountable. Two, people also use it as a tool for others as well.
They do, like just like a lot of things, it does get abused. That I'll completely agree with.
Yeah, and so we just got to make sure we reach across the and let it be clear. I feel like 3LittleBlerds have been saying this for 13 weeks. Let's go ahead and make it 14. We are pro-Black here. We are about unity of Black people, supporting. We're about uplifting and pouring into our people. So at no point in time will you ever openly tear down another Black person. They've done things that are wrong to the culture and to our people. That's just not our message whatsoever.
Calling somebody out and tearing them down are two different things. Like you don't need to rip somebody down, like to prove your point. It isn't Black people. Like the whole thing with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I see a lot of people taking the side of Johnny Depp on this, but he's not without fault in the situation either. And my whole thing is, and I hate getting into this, and I probably shouldn't have brought it up, but they're both scummy people. They're both scummy people, and they're both get the same treatment. And compare and contrast who did what and who did how, and inside a relationship, it's already convoluted. And they both just need to be off people's lips, and they need to go find what to do with themselves and fix themselves, or get themselves the wherewithal they need to be if they want to come back and try perform and entertain in the way they should. And that's how I see when it comes to people who get called out. I'm not gonna rip you down, but I will let you know what I think about this, and then I'm done. It's either block, restrict it, mute it. I can't be associated with you right now until things change. That's how I see it.
I feel you, man. We 100%. Kenny, you good, Brody?
Yeah, I put eye drops in my eye. I just didn't want
it. Got it.
I feel like 2020 in itself has been one of those years. I know for me in particular, the example that you use, as far as doing business with people and something happens, not just somebody a celebrity,
right?
Calling them out, but somebody that you knew personally, something happened, and you let it be known that you felt this type of way about it, and then how did it go from there? Because I'm all about letting people know what's going on with me, and it kind of comes to the point for me this year where I felt like I was being taken advantage of by people just doing stuff for the sake of doing it.
Right.
I'm like, hey, we can do this right, and then they kind of took that as an attack, and I'm like, no, it's a two-way street. But like you said, you have to be able to remove yourself from certain things, and I know for me, that was a lesson for me, being able to remove myself from certain things that
it's not easy.
All into, and yeah, it's tough. It's not easy at all.
Yeah,
because when you have a shared respect for that person, it's hard to take yourself back and say you know what, I need to assess the situation, but I also trust this person, but this person is doing something that makes me feel uneasy. It's you're running that seesaw with yourself, what you should and shouldn't do. I get exactly what you're saying, man.
Man, Demetrius, man, look, we're definitely gonna have off camera because man, I think kind of where you're at, kind of mirror, and it's crazy because every guest that we have kind of mirrored where we're at as a group just in life, and I think a lot of Black people are there where we're at this transitional period where it's you're dealing with a lot of the issues that are systemic and come from our people in general, and then issues are trying to push forward and become better. And I think the best way for us to do this is to do it together, and to kind of continue to keep talking to each other and relying on each other and work with each other and find out ways that we can reach each other and build together versus asking somebody else for some money or waiting on a government that was never put together for us anyway to give.
Starting to look that way. Yeah.
Yep. And with that being said, now we're gonna open up for our last remarks. So just as we told you, we always end with giving everybody an opportunity to say something to our followers to help take them into the next week, into the next episode. So what I will do is I will send it over to C, let him give us something, and then we'll send it to you, D, and then Kenny, and then to me. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, only thing I got this week, same thing I always say every week. Safe, wear a mask, definitely wear a mask. Wash your hands, and that giveaway. The giveaway is still going on for another week. I think
I'm gonna help you guys. I'm gonna help you guys out with that giveaway too. Once we get off camera.
It'll
See,
end.
can we would you be able to post the?
You said something. You said
we
something.
know what you said.
See, can you send him the image so that if he wants to post that, he's more than welcome to.
Yeah, definitely.
I got you.
Appreciate
the giveaway
that.
is going, so it'll end basically Saturday morning. So before the next talk show, it'll be over. So we'll have the winner. We'll be able to talk about that on the next episode. And yeah, overall, I hope everybody who tried to get the new consoles or whatever, hope y'all was able to get it. And if not, that Spider-Man is a must. It's a must check out. If you can't get the new console, at least try to get that Spider-Man. We're gonna try to give it out to somebody, so we'll let y'all know who won that bad boy next week. But
I'm just gonna go with MK Ice and Fire and watch it on there. I know. What's wrong with you, man? Just buy the game. I know.
All right, Demetrius, what do you have for our followers?
You guys have been very nice. I've been reading the thread on Twitch this entire time. You guys are super nice. Blue, you're a cool dude, man. I like what you guys have here on three little blurs. This is cool stuff. You guys are very nice, genuine people. Kenny, I definitely think one day you're gonna snuggle, be nice to death one day. But yeah.
I'm ready for the smoke at all times. Come with
I don't want no smoke. I don't fight no more.
That's why I said snuggle. You're gonna just snuggle him to death.
Okay, come see me.
Hey man, you got it, bro. I ain't about that life.
You guys are nuts.
I'm just a simple man from Detroit.
You should be able to drop your podcast link in our chat in my chat right
now.
Yeah,
be sure.
We'll do.
If you can, go ahead and drop that link. Everybody, y'all be sure to support him and his podcast and all his other endeavors that he does.
I want to start asking for money pretty soon here, just letting you guys know.
You
really should.
You should.
Ads, advertising.
You don't ask for money already?
Sponsors.
Yeah.
Also, too, Demetrius, Blue O'Connor, he was talking about blerd for my wife. Blue, if you can drop your podcast in there as well, I think you will benefit from listening to that, and maybe you guys can be on each other's podcast.
Yeah, definitely check out his Blerd Life with my wife. It's super dope. They was talking about Pixar movies on one of the last ones, and I was talking to him about it because they said they hadn't watched a couple, and I was just joking with them. But yeah, I love the podcast on Anchor and Apple. Super good stuff for when I'm driving.
Yeah,
that's cool. I'll check it out. If you drop it in there, I'm all for it.
Yeah, Demetrius, did you finish everything you want going into the week?
I just want to say I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's staying safe. I know this world is hard. I know people try to bring you down. FG Talk is a place that we try not to do that to people. We try to keep everyone on a positive feed and keep our heads up as best as we can. And I know how hard that is. I know how hard it is. I know how it's easier to take the negative side than to take the positive side. And if you need somebody to talk to, which I know is hard, I know therapy is not for everybody, especially being a black person. It's difficult. It's a pain. And find that trust and not trusting in somebody in the first place. I get all that too. It's hard, man. Try to keep your heads up. Try to smile. Try to do one thing every day and do it more. The days go on. Just don't beat yourself up too much. It's my kid. She wants to do some check 1-2s.
All right, Kenny, what do you have for us?
A star in the making.
Yeah, she is.
Blerd in training. Hey, shout out. We do have that series on picture your kids and you guys are doing bloody stuff. Make sure you send it to 3LittleBlerds so we can post in the story for Blerds in Training.
Blerds in Training. Love it.
Yeah.
For me, I did have a question for Demetrius. You have mentioned that you did music. I want what instruments or what do you do with your music? Because I myself play the piano. So
Hate to cut you off. She wanted to get on. She wanted to talk. Wanted to say hi.
hello.
Hi.
Hanging out.
We have a car hat.
What's that?
Yeah, you see my hat.
We all got hats, so I don't know whose hat.
Did you have a monster truck hat?
Oh, she said Kenny has the monster truck hat. And that one?
Oh, yeah,
that's
it's a dad hat. Yeah.
She and her brother are big in the cars. Big in the cars.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I love it.
You phone that.
All right, why don't you go hang out with your siblings? Want to wear the headphones? All right.
Oh, she want to hear?
Be nice, guys. Be nice. Kenny, be nice.
Hey, be nice.
You can't sleep, babe.
Yeah, I'm sleeping. Good night.
I don't have any kids. They're not sleeping.
I have dogs.
Hey,
Okay, go find something to do, man.
She actually got kids are sleeping. I don't have kids, so maybe she knows something I don't know.
Oh, everything. I have dogs. I love it. I love this kid.
Oh man. But yeah, my question, I had a question for you. It was what instruments do you play and what do you do with your music? Because you have mentioned it a few times during our conversations.
Oh, I used to be a screamer in a metal band. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
I feel like I want to start doing that from now on. When people say like, what instrument do you play? I'm just gonna show them. That's it.
Heavy
Hey, that's cool. That's something.
Hey, it's a thing, yo. It's a thing. It's definitely a thing.
I miss it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I miss it big time.
I like that. System of a Down.
Did you settle down because you became a family man?
Say that?
Did you stop traveling so much because you became a family man?
That's it. On the nose, man. You got it.
I was like, nose game. I'm not losing.
No, that's
on the nose.
that is. I was like, you know what? I can't keep doing this. We got to turn the podcast.
Put my energy somewhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my question that I had. So
I was so excited messing with your daughter, I accidentally clicked the end button.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yes, man. I was like laughing and joking with her. I was like, ha, 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 and
she's a nut, man. She's a nut. It's like this all day. Like she tried to. There's heart moments too. Like I changed the channel, put it on a different TV show on YouTube, and she tried to unplug the TV.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pluses and minuses. Yeah, yeah.
My niece was trying to come in here at the beginning when we were sitting in here. Bro, she don't like no locked doors, bro. If you got a locked door, she gonna tear that thing down.
Oh, she
kicks them. No more locked doors.
Going next Friday, everybody. No, I hear you, man.
Yes, we definitely got to get Baby Girl on the podcast. Yes, Blue and Shuriken Pizza. Got to get her on the podcast
immediately.
So, yeah. So I would like to wrap this week up by
I forgot those comments. My bad.
Yeah. You good. I would like to wrap up this week by encouraging everyone to not be afraid to do a hard thing. Right now in this country, it's hard for Black people to do anything, to exist, to go to a grocery store, to go run, to buy Skittles, to get pulled over. But that shouldn't stop us from doing the hard things that we need to do in order to be successful.
Right. That kind of goes to what the comment I had was. So.
Yeah, and I want to encourage everybody. Today is Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday. We're starting out a new week. We only have a few more weeks left in 2020. And all intents purposes, everybody said this year is been a failure. But what I want to encourage everybody to do is to not to not be afraid to do the hard thing and to finish the year strong. To organize your thoughts and your plans and to get them into and organized so that you will not only finish this year off strong, but you will start the new year off strong. And I'm here to tell you through the past couple months, if any of you guys have been following me on social media, it's been a lot of highs and lows for me. But the one thing that I've held very close to my heart is that, through all these hard things, I know that everything is going to be better. So I'm encouraging everybody, this week and for the rest of the year, don't be afraid to do the hard things, because the thing about doing something hard is that when you get to the other side, it normally helps you in forming you and molding you into the better person that you want to be. So I'm encouraging everybody to do that. With that being said, that's going to be episode 14.
I want to say something. Can I say my positivity?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you say your positivity. Go ahead, and then I'm gonna wrap
it. I forgot to say. I asked him a question that threw me off.
You asked that question when you were supposed to be being positive. So
hey, you two absolutely killed me.
Look, it don't matter when I have my positivity speech. I just gotta have it. But anyway, like I say every week, go into this week with positivity. I will say, like, me personally, this past week, I had a shroud of negativity. Like, I felt like every day, like, more and more stacked onto me. And being able to talk to B and C and, like, the others and, like, that we're cool with and stuff, it kind of, like, got me over that hump and just reminded me that live in positivity. Like, try to shroud yourself with the most positive things that you can to help fend off that negative cloud, because once it hits you, I promise it's so hard to shake it off, and it is draining. Like, it's physically, emotionally, mentally draining, and that's just really my main thing. And I just to piggyback on what B was saying, like that challenge yourself to do something that you're afraid to do. Like that's just a challenge. Like, try to go into this week and do one thing that you're afraid to do. Just confront that thing and move forward, and just see what the outcome is. And if you want to, you can share with us in the Discord. Like, I'm willing to hear everybody's challenge or the thing that they challenge themselves to do. And I myself would do that as well. So
I was hoping you were gonna get people a support system. That's what I was gonna suggest also.
Well, I'm a therapist, so like a lot of the things so a lot of the things I do talk about is like either like something to do with like trying to be positive or helping like a person's mental state, or trying to thrive into the next week, the next day, try to be better than yourself yesterday. Like, me Friday is a completely different person than me today, and B can attest to that, because during Friday night fights, I don't even think I had the same amount of energy that I had every other week. Like, it was just, and I told like it hits you, and like everybody needs that time to break that wall down. Like, grab your sledgehammer and break that wall, and then continue to move forward. But yeah, like, I try to pride myself on like the positivity and support, and that's just one thing that I do for myself, not only myself but for others. So I'm always with support, and if anybody needs to talk, I'm always here. Like, they know that. So yeah, that's my little positivity speech.
Thank you for your words, C, Demetrius, and Kenny. And just to piggyback off of Kenny, in our Discord, which C has already dropped the link in the chat for, we have a channel called Healing Room. That is a channel specifically for people to come and talk about anything that you have going on right now, anything that you don't feel comfortable talking to your family, your friends, or your spouse, or anybody about. That is a safe place for you. Anything that is discussed in there stays in there. We have very supportive family in our Discord, and this is an open invite to anybody who's watching the talk show, who's either going to watch it on YouTube. If you need a home to come and feel like yourself, and just to talk to people who are going to listen first, and then talk to you afterwards, please join our Discord and step into the healing room. You will have all the other shenanigans and fuck shit of anime and manga and blerdom, but that's like our shrine, our temple. Like, we do all our daily work outside of all the other channels, but when we come there, we take off our shoes. We're putting on our all white, and we're coming in there as humble as we can. So
just pure and honest.
That's honestly what FTO is all about. So like everything you just described is what FTO strives for every single day.
Yes, honestly, yeah. So it's funny. Normally, I tell these guys when I get the guests, it's me reaching out. But like, me and you were literally talking, and I was like, why the hell have I not had him on the show yet? And I was like, hey, you want to be on the show? And he was like, awesome, let's do it. And I'm so glad that you spurred the conversation, man. Because Seek can attest, I'm having millions of conversations a day on that Instagram. And it's not often.
Surely is, because my phone be buzzing like a motherfucker.
It's not often that we have, because we are not established yet in this community, and we are still building our brand. It's not often that we have people reach out to us. It's always us having an open invite and us extending our hand. So I thank you for extending your hand out to come help us and to be on our talk show. I also want to let you know that I'm pretty sure I speak for all three of us that we definitely want to sit on that podcast. And just be able to come into your environment and just, see how you do things, and to for once be on the opposite side. Like, I've only been on the opposite side one time so far since we started this. That was hilarious. So I really think with you,
he's gonna tell you it's a different kind of vibe than it is here, man. It's just like it's very mellow. It's very like like lounge kind of feel to it. Just giving you a heads up.
That's my vibe.
Cool. That's cool, man. Listen, I'll ascend among the gods, and I'll come right there and be on that same level that you are.
You feel me? I'll tap in right from Cloud9.
Right on. I know you get like the whole like weed situation going on in your area, but like it's all sober for me usually. I wish I had a fun time while I was there, but I'm all sober doing that. So yeah.
Hey man.
It happens.
Believe it or not, I'm ascended right now.
I believe
I'm talking to King Kai. He just told me Goku about busy.
And on that note,
and with that being said, episode 14.